Hey guys, welcome back to Anything Goes Garage. And today's episode is brought to you by Arccaptain CUT50 plasma cutter. Arccaptain CUT50 is a lightweight, 13-pound, very nice light, portable plasma cutter. It has dual voltage. You can go 220 or 110 with the adapter. It comes with all your leads, your adapter. I got this nice welding helmet, auto darkening. I got some extra shields with it, some batteries. The inner shield is nice thing, and I got some extra parts for the cup and consumables. And these can be bought online if you need be, as they wear out, because they do wear the tips. You know, this isn't a forever part, but they do last a long time. I have seen a few of these around. Guys have been using them, and I'm very impressed by the way they work. So we're going to try this one. This one has not been fired up yet, so you're going to be the first to see this work, and so am I, this one. So I have my airline hooked up. I'm going to run it on 220. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some floor cutting out of here the best we can, but there's some braces in here and stuff, so we're not going to be able to get past the braces, but we're going to just cut some out of here, cut some sheet metal and show you how it cuts. And then we'll go over to this piece of diamond plate steel. I believe that's well, it ain't 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and I'll show you how that cuts. So the Arccaptain plasma cutter, the CUT50 on 110 volt will cut 1/4 inch clean cuts, and it'll cut the max of 3/8 inch plate. And on the 220 it'll cleanly cut 3/8 and max 11/16. That's not bad on 220. That's pretty dang good if you ask me. So if you're doing like big patchwork on equipment or something, it's nice to get a cut off a piece of plate. I even have a piece here. I believe that's 1/2 inch or 3/8. Maybe we'll take a little chunk off of that to see. I hate to cut that all up, but you know what? I'll do it for the channel. Yep, right there, Panzer. So let's plug this thing in and fire it up. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I have a big extension cord because I'm working out here on this cab. I'm going to plug this into 220. All right, so the machine is off, and I'm going to plug in my airline. And they have the regulator preset, and it has a separator in case you have any moisture coming in there. So always have clean air coming in at all times. And I'm looking at this torch, man. This thing's pretty nice. It's nice ergonomic torch. It's pretty decent quality. Kind of like that. Means a lot when you're dragging this over sheet metal or metal for, you know, all day long doing stuff. It's a nice long ground. Actually, I like this lead. This is a very nice long lead on this thing. Most of the time, especially welders, like Miller and stuff, they give you a short lead or a short ground and a long lead for the welding, but this one's pretty nice. So you got to be careful not to kink these because it's got a air hose in it and it's got wires in it. So I'm going to put this over here inside the cab for the time being, and what I'm going to do is take this ground and I'm going to find a nice clean spot to clamp it, which will probably be right here, as that goes to the body. So we'll plug it right there. All right, so I'm going to turn the unit on. The switch is in the back. Give it a second. Wow, that's a nice little LED. That's very nice and easy to read. The fan came on. It's pretty cool. It's set, it looks like 35 amp. I'm going to turn this down. Technically, I could run 110. I'm only cutting some sheet metal. Turn this down a bunch. I'm going to set this down at, let's say 25. Actually, how low does this thing go on that? 20 amp. Let's set it at 20. Looks like 20 is minimal on the 220. All right, so you can use the welding helmet to do this. I'm going to use these glasses for now, since I'm doing this video, which I got to clean these things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the floor braces around there. I'm just going to cut a section out to show you how nice it is, and I want to try this thing out anyway, since I haven't even pilot tested this thing yet, just to show you how it works. We'll find out. I've used other plasma cutters before, and this is going to be the test, and we're going to blow through somewhere in here. Wow, that starts up quick. There was a brace behind that one. All right, there's a brace behind there, but it's cutting nice and clean. What is behind that? Couldn't be anything. Alright, so we're going to make a cut. I got to find the brace under this thing. There should be nothing right around here, because there's a big brace under here, which of course it's like this big. So what we're going to do is just cut a square up. Let's see what happens. Alright, always wear your gloves. It will burn. So I'm going to cut a square out of here, out of the sheet metal. Oh, a little fast, but all right. So I'm playing with this thing now. It's setting a nice. Oh. Nice. I like how this thing strikes an arc really quick, and does pretty good on that. That's actually some pretty thick sheet metal. And I have it down on the lowest 220 setting, so. Nice. Wow, that cut's clean. I like that. Yeah. That is definitely nice. Wow. Alright, let's cut a few more pieces here. I'm undercoating under this, so it's going to give me a little bit of problems. Yeah, it cuts that sheet metal pretty nice, and that's not. This is a cool piece, so that's not very thin, and it's got undercoating on the bottom too. Cut through that pretty nice. Better than using the old hot wrench, because this slag just knocks right off with a little grinder. That there was 1/4 inch material. Very nice cut. A little slag with the grinders for. Better than using a acetylene torch, that's for sure. We'll do one more cut. Now that's on the 220 mode, so. Oh yeah, definitely nice. 1/4 inch on 220 volt. Very impressed with that. So there's some of the cuts I made in that Chevy truck floor. Even did a little J. It's pretty cool. I like it. CUT50 from Arccaptain. 13 pounds. Lightweight, portable. 220, 110. Fully adjustable. Airline separator. They also have this very nice auto darkening helmet with all your sensitivity adjustments. Has extra shields, batteries, your directions. Everything comes with this. Basically plug and play. Very nice machine. I'll put a link in the description on the where you can get these from. So what I like about this, just 2 buttons and a turn dial to set your amperage settings. Very simple. It's not all these dials like all over the welders and stuff of, you know, your name brand stuff. This is just cut and dry. That's it. Easy to work. 220, 110 adapter. So I'll put a link in the description for the Arccaptain CUT50 and check out the line of products they have. Welders and plasma cutters and helmets and accessories for doing any kind of metal work. So hit them up. I'm sure they'll hook you up well. Okay guys, so my plan is to take the Arccaptain CUT50 and cut this floor out. But there's braces in here that I won't be able to get through completely through, so I might have to in the end get the blade down there and sawzall, because you know that won't reach, you know, 2-3 inches down, but it'll cut the sheet metal and get me started. And whatever's left over, like pinch welds, I'm just gonna have to grind the spot welds down and get rid of them where the new one's gonna go. And I have to replace some lips on this anyway, so we're just gonna rough cut this thing out is basically what we're gonna do. So we're gonna put this thing to work, and we're gonna make this thing work today. So here we go. Where are we gonna start though? Let's start back here. There's a brace here. Here's right where I start with the brace. I need a better ground. I gotta find a better ground here. Or what I like to do is use the vice grips. That's the best ground you can get. And that on something dry, on something, do that. So I have some definitely. Everything's a brace under here. Everything's a brace. All right, so unfortunately the battery died in the middle of cutting. But I'll tell you one thing, my Arccaptain didn't. So next thing I have to do, I have to try to get some more of this away from here so I can finish cutting here. And I'm gonna have to get a Sawzall blade, 3-inch Sawzall blade, and cut through these floor braces. They're too thick to get far down in there. So maybe if I were to cut an access hole, I might be able to get next to it, but that's just a lot of wear and tear on the equipment, so, and a lot of electrical. So I think we're gonna just try to cut the rest of this out with a Sawzall, trim it up a little bit with this, and go from there. This is fun. I like this. This is a neat little machine. Now I opened up a hole so I can get to the floor supports in this thing, and I can cut them. I just want to see what this machine is made of. There you go. Frame's cut. At least in one spot. Alright, so we're almost clear all the way across there. Got a couple of spots right here I might have missed. There we go. Woohoo! Alright, we're almost completely disassembled. But this all has to, this stays, but this all has to come out yet. This whole piece, this is all spot welded to the back of here, so I think I'm gonna be drilling some spot holes. Spot welds, spot holes, spot welds, yes. Spot holes, no. All right, so I have to lay on the ground here, unfortunately. I can't really pick this up with the forklift at this moment, but we have your front floor brace. This is your lower floor brace. I have to cut it back here because this overlaps inside of here, so I'm going to cut it across here, down here, into this on both sides. Have to be done to get this floor out because I have to peel this section off, and that is spot welded to here, and I need this. The new floor comes with this fish plate thingy looking overlap, so I'm going to cut it back here, and then we can trim it up once we get this thing elevated and where we can easily work on it. And that's where the time-consuming part is with doing that, is getting all the spot welds off and grinding everything down. But well, there's a will, there's a way. All right guys, I just finished this up. I put that Arccaptain CUT50 to work today. This thing probably ran for a good hour cutting this out. I just had to get through, it was the frame part, you know, the floor substructure. I had to get through that, so I had to cut like inspection holes or access holes to get to them, to cut them. So, but I left everything big because I have to split lots of what do you call it, spot welds. So I'll show you next. I'll show you next with what a new floor pan looks like and what I actually had to deal with. All right, so this is the bottom side of that floor pan. So there's the outer braces. This is the one I had to go through. So when I cut this, I went across here and I had to go back here farther because the firewall has a piece that slips in here and gets tack welded. So I didn't want to cut that. So I cut back here and along here and did the same. And these are just tough. You just had to cut an access cover here to go, and then you had to cut here. Now, here on the back side of the cab, I cut it across here, and of course I ran into braces and then this brace, and I hit a couple of things. I tried to keep it tight to here, but there's a lot of double metal that has a lot of rust jacking and seam sealer and stuff, so it's not you know, it doesn't cut good with that. You got to go through it a couple times and find all those spots. So you're not just gonna buzz across here like a knife through butter, but it'll go knife through butter through this. But when you get to this, then you're gonna have to either use a Sawzall, go through it, or just cut a bigger hole to get to it. So now this is the back half of the cab. I have to get all this off, and this is actually, this flange on the back is spot welded to the back of the cab. So I gotta find my spot weld drilling tools. I cannot find them, my bits, and I gotta go behind the cab and I gotta cut all those spot welds. And once we get all that out, I gotta set this in here and bolt it, whatever's left to the side to bolt this to, and get this thing somewhat tied together. And I'm gonna bolt the doors on, make sure the cab is tight, like, you know, everything's just pulled together in the gaps, so we don't, make sure that the back of the cab and the front of the cab aren't spread. So a lot of guys use jigs and make all kinds of elaborate stuff, but I just put those cross braces in there to kind of hold together. And I'm sure I'm gonna have to spread that apart to get that in there. So I'm gonna clean up right now, and I'm gonna go get some dinner, and we'll continue on this a little later. Good, beautiful Friday morning. Out there is beautiful, not here, there. So today we are back on the shop truck cab, removing the rest of this floor. Now I know you guys are going to crucify me, those who see what I'm doing. Is what it is. I'll get this. This ain't my first rodeo, so it's just how you go about doing it. So I did cut the floor out, and yes, there's 4x4s and it's hanging by the roof. It is braced up to a point, and I didn't go that all elaborate giant halo thing. It looks like somebody did a sailor's dive into a shallow pool and broke their neck and had one of them, you know, them, if anybody's ever seen that mess. Yeah, I'm not playing that game. I don't have the materials. So the project here today is to find all these spot welds and drill them out. You can't drill them from the back, so I got to drill them from here. So I'll plug weld them through here into the new machine, into the new floor. So behind here is two little knuckleheads, yes, my children, and this floor brace, and part of this is spot welded across here. So I had to scrape all this, heat it, and get all the tar off, and I can see where all my spot welds are, where I got to drill them, and then peel this back. Now this cab corner here is a little compromised. Nothing's attached here anymore, so this will probably this could possibly get replaced later. You two, please stop it. So here, I'll show you. That's what the piece looks like. So unfortunately, it's that piece between the back floor is angled down, not up, so that's what makes it difficult to get those spot welds out. Then I got to go to the front, and those two front main supports for the firewall have to be cleaned up, and then that pinch weld has to be cleaned up. I'm going to have to add a pinch weld to that, so I think I'm going to, if I have enough material, if not, I'm going to have to go out and go get a sheet of metal and make a 90 degree and make a new pinch weld for that goes across there. So, because that's pretty gone. And once we get that in there and lined up, I got to fix all this junk where all the floor actually bolts to, because this thing gets bolted in first and then I guess fitted from there. It gives you enough room with the bolts, you can move it around. I'm going to bolt it together. Just 4 bolts there, 2 bolts there, same thing with the other side. And then what I'm going to do is bolt the doors on, put the latch back in, see where the cab's at, and make some adjustments. And then I'm going to go along and weld the floor in after. I'm going to get inside and weld the floor together. I'll do a little bit, and then I'll test fit the doors, and we'll go from there. So that's how I'm going to do it. Even though I don't have the rockers on, I could always tack those on too, but I want to get the floor on at least, and then the doors back in, and we'll go from there. But once this is all done, and the rest of that stuff up there can go, I'm going to shoot this whole cab inside and out all white. So we'll go from there. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and I'm not going to bore you with that whole thing. It's just basically, really, It's just basically, I do have a drill. I don't know what I did with it. Again, I did find my spot weld driller, but the pilot on it's wore out. It was up here someplace. But I started just drilling it with a small drill bit and then open it up to the next size till it pops. So, all right, so I'll see you in a bit. If this thing falls on my head, I am so going to the hospital. Oh, last time I had tetanus shot. That's not good. So they double tap these welds, the upper and the lower, and it's ready to come off, but it's just not giving up. I missed a tack here or there somewhere. It's really hard to see. So I'm just kind of guessing. I think that was one of them. Another. I think that might have been it. Nope. Let's see if we can just wear them out. Damn, I cannot see. Oh, there it goes. It's going. There we go. Now there is winning. Yeah, boys and girls, I feel like part of the rust monster. Woo! And that's what you call winning. So I'll take a hammer and dolly and flatten all this out. This is going to be pretty much my plug welds. On the back side of that new floor pan, I'll just grind that clean and I'll plug weld most of these up. So here I'm gonna have to replace that because there's nothing to plug weld. Here's okay. The only problem is I lost that. There's no flange here on either side to center that floorboard. That one's up there, but it's all twisted, and that one's twisted. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to go off that frame rail, frame support, or firewall support, and that firewall support, and that pinch weld. So that pinch weld has to be perfect. And then we're gonna have to, well, this will help me out a lot here because it bolts, so that'll help hold it and I can move it around a little bit. So bolting on these doors and rockers is going to be the key to getting this whole thing straightened out. So yeah, it's going to be a event, but I think we're going to be good. All right guys, so this is where I'm at now. So I got this. Hey Maggie, she's over here hanging out. So I got, trying to hold the light, hold the piece, and hold the camera. So this is the piece that originally came off the old floor. So managed to get them off both sides. Drill the spot welds. I gotta, actually that one I gotta finish. Yeah, I gotta finish that one. It's almost off. And all I have left now is this pinch weld. Get that seam sealer out of there and cut that pinch weld. So what I'm gonna do is replace this whole lip here with a new one, and I'll just bend a piece over this or go under it and spot weld it, and this will butt up to the new floor pan. And then I found, hold on guys, I'm trying to hold the light here. I need my old headlight back. So I got an issue here. This is not connected anymore. I don't know if this side is or not, and it's partially, I gotta patch that. So I think I'm gonna go up to Fazio's up in Wall Township and get a half sheet of, I forget what gauge it is, but I do have a sample piece. And make this flange along here and then patch that. I'm probably gonna have to make this. Now I don't know if they make this patch panel here. Well, this is what, there's a bolt flange that goes through here that actually locates the floor. Well, this is bent, so I don't know how I'm gonna center this. The only thing I can do is go off maybe the edge of this floor, and the back even had the same thing, but that's gone too. And I need a cab corner. So it's gonna be a little fun trying to get this squared up. So the doors are gonna have to locate everything in the rockers. and then do my final welding. So I just shoved some flat gloss white primer / paint in here. I'm going to do another coat because originally where the original floor pan goes up in here, I actually had a sealer up in here and I had to scrape it all out. There's still some left right there. It's like a rubberized sealer, but I'll seam seal that anyway, and then the bolts go in through here, and I'll just plug weld all those. So there's a lot of work going on here, that's for sure. Once I get this off, clean some of this up, I guess I'm gonna have to make a run up north and grab either a sheet or a half sheet of that sheet metal I need for parts. I'm out anyway. I haven't had a sheet of that in years. I'll run the truck up there and grab some. Maybe grab some hardware while I'm there, because I'm out of some hardware. All right, update on the front pinch weld there. I got that all cleaned up. The firewall to floor supports cleaned up. This edge here, of course, part of that flange is gone. So I'm gonna get this rear cab corner. I'm gonna see if they make this A-pillar support at the bottom here for both sides. See if they make that part. Right now I'm gonna go over to Fazio's and pick up a half sheet of sheet metal, because I'm gonna make a new flange down there, and I'm gonna need some pieces here and there for patches and plus other jobs around here. This isn't done yet, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do both cab corners. I don't know. I've never done cab corners. I don't think I've ever done them, but it can't be too hard. They're probably just going to be grafted across here. But that's the thing, and then I got to do flange it or do something and then weld it and grind it down and do body work. I hate body work, so yeah. Come on, Chicky. No, I can shake this so you keep putting. I'm not shaking this, but that's fine. It's fine. There we go. I gotta trim a little bit up right here because I roll this edge right here, so I'm gonna trim that up so it fits a little better. Like, let me mark that. There we go. There's a new flange. I'm just going to trim that up. And I'll grind these nice sharp corners off, and we should be good. What I'll do is I'll just stitch it along here, and when I get, actually, maybe I'll pop a few holes in the back side of this so I can plug weld it to the new floor pans. So I have a new piece made up for the other side. I just got to fit it in, plus probably a 3-inch piece for the corner. Temporarily, to set this in place, I'm going to put a couple of zap screws through this thing so it holds it. There we go. Take them out later, or you can leave them in, but I'll probably take them out and then weld everything. I just want to hold it in place for the time being. If I weld it and I have to move it, then I'm kind of screwed. Get it? Screwed? Sorry. There we go. Alright. Marvelous. Now we'll move over to the other one. I know that's got to be trim and fit. Oops. Let me, I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit. There we go. Not sitting where I want it. Maybe the screw will pull it down. If not, I'm gonna have to use the old, big old hammer. Hammer. Have to notch that, just clearance that just a little bit. Yeah, just a little. I have to take it back off. Somebody's got a big dirt bike. That's a big bore. That sounds like a 5 or 600 cc bike. That thing sounds wicked. That sounds like the old KTMs we used to run, two-stroke Hondas back when we were kids. Ta-da! These things are worth their weight in gold, let me tell you. Between that and one of these jump shear. I found this in a junkyard. I bought 2 of them. They come out of I guess the military had scrapped them. They put them to an auction and see if other branches of the military want them. I guess they come out of a machine shop, and whatever nobody wanted, they sent them to the scrapyard. So I bought 2 of them for $500, and I sold the one for $250, and I kept this one. It's got a broken piece on it, and it doesn't have the extenders on it, but still, I've used this thing all the time. And that I bought brand new from where did I get it from? MHC Industrial Supply. And I put it on top of the shipping container, and I put dollies under it so I can actually roll around in the shop. And I also put these on wheels. This thing can go on wheels too, and I can move it around. This is on wheels. If it's not on wheels and you can't bring it out in the open for big stuff, and especially if you got cars in the way, trucks, that's key when you can get out in the open if you're doing a big job. So, all right, back to working. So today when I went to, a little crooked. All right, hopefully that didn't mess up the video. So today I went to Fazio's and picked up that sheet metal. I also bought me some Senior. This is weld through primer. This is good stuff. Not like trying to weld through regular paint. You spray this down, at least to protect what's behind it and not rust. Also picked up some automotive primer. You can get this at parts stores. Walmart even carries this. It's self-etching primer. This is for bare metal before you paint. That helps bite to the bare metal to allow adhesion for the paint. And I just bought some flat white primer. This I'll use for cutting in everything to keep it from rusting while I'm working on it and keeping the moisture off. So we'll put them aside for now. We got a lot accomplished today. I'm very happy with what I got. Me and my neighbor Dave, we went out to Fazio's and he bought some stuff. He's the Fazio's virgin over there, seeing all the stuff they have. It's amazing the amount of materials. There's only 2 stores in New Jersey. There's one in Glassboro and there's one in, I think it's Wall Township, right off of Route 9. If you're familiar with New Jersey, you've never been there, awesome store. It's like a candy store. They should have them everywhere. I mean, all kinds of materials you can think of, polished diamond plate, plexiglass, Teflon, nuts, bolts of every galvanized, stainless, regular, grade 1, 2, 3, whatever you want, anchors, you name it, welding supplies. It's a fabricator's dream. I even got a lot of stuff guys who do CNC stuff. There's a lot of flat stock, round stock, square stock, solid stock, you name it. Brass, it's just too much to even talk about. So instead of me talking about it, I'm gonna get to work and figure out what I'm gonna do. What's my next plan of attack? Do I bring in that floor, set it under here? Don't mind that movement. And well, I can patch that corner by the cowl tonight. I'll cut that piece out because it's starting to get dark and damp out there, and I got to bring that steel in. And I got to look up if I can get them two lower pillar patches. And then I got to figure out cab corners. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and I'm gonna bring you along. Hopefully I ain't boring you with this stuff. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I can get by, I guess. So I mean, if you were just building a daily or a beater, you know, I hate drafts, I hate rust, even though it's something I can't do nothing with, and I hate leaks. So this is supposed to be a presentable shop truck for anything goes garage, and me and brother Mark are gonna sport this thing, all the swap meets and car shows, and we're gonna have fun. We're even gonna tow car trailers with it. We're gonna go get other projects with it. That's the key. We're gonna go pull things out of barns and fields and wherever we can find with this truck. So I'll be back with you in a bit when we get a little more accomplished, so stay tuned.